Lily, how are you?
I'm good.
I
I'm
like
good.
your Friday vibe.
You
and all
know?
that. Maseho.
Chese, mase baby ala.
Emmanuel Gbo, who is wearing Manchester United jersey. Yeah, for some time now, you know the United fans, when you see them, they are hiding. Even when they are wearing the Man United jersey,
Then
they
they
put a cloth on it. Now you he's so happy.
We have to chase him out of the studio.
Right? He's run away from the studio. But yeah, I share in their energy because they have a new coach.
Yeah,
To see what the new
yeah.
coach will do. This weekend they have an action. All eyes will be there. We'll also go and watch some.
So,
Yes,
yeah.
we have vested interest, so we'll go and watch some. United fans.
Yeah.
We hope that the way you are hoping for come to life so that the EPL will be very interesting. I got Arsenal City too much.
So,
One-way traffic
well,
and
my
all.
dear,
So, yes.
And you know, we Arsenal fans, we've had a lot of patience, you know.
When we talk to them, they don't understand.
Yeah.
When we ask them, come to us and we show you how it is done, they feel like, oh, you don't know
Charlie,
what...
if you want to marry, look for an Arsenal fan. They have a lot of patience.
Arsenal fans, good morning. This weekend, Nottingham Forest is coming to the Emirates, and we hope that we get our 3
We're
points.
live in action.
Yes. The season has not been too rosy,
favorable,
too rosy. But we think that we'll get our season back on the track this weekend, and so it's good to look to the weekend.
Absolutely. I love weekends.
Yes. Me, particularly on Fridays, I love Fridays because, Saturdays, a lot of activities, so you don't have enough time to rest. And before you realize Sunday is here, then Monday, you come to
Charlie, sometimes I wish we can add an extra day to the weekend.
Then we have to look for the 8th day.
Maybe Monday should be cancelled. Let's start the week.
Or half day.
So that we can officially start the week on Tuesday.
Elsewhere where you work hourly, I think that is it's very good for
But even those who work hourly are African compatriots there. They do 3 jobs.
Yes,
so as for the rest,
you need the
Benjamins. You need the bucks.
It's a chi. You need the chi.
The kwacha. You need it. Yeah, like Kwame Nkrumah.
I know, right?
Yeah.
You need it too. That is the blood. If you have chain in your pocket, when you walk like a...
But see, you know that feeling, when you get some money.
The energy is different too.
Charlie, that day, you want to eat everything. You just like as a titi amount for so sometimes I wonder how people who we know have made it in terms of wealth, the Rhymans, despite the known in the Just Ones, the Tubinkos, the Bolares,
the bullets.
How they feel, Charlie, please always have small coins in my pocket.
We can only imagine for them until we get to that.
Until you get there, you never know. But Charlie, it's a good feeling.
It's a good feeling. When you have money in your pocket, there's nothing beautiful and very interesting than that.
Absolutely.
You walk with your chest out, you walk with
and
some
even
level
productivity
of
level.
Yes.
You are highly productive because
Absolutely.
you don't really have to think about where your next meal is coming from.
Not at
You don't
all.
have to think about how you're going to pay certain bills. Because they are all sorted,
Yes.
you're able to think, you're able to become assertive, you're able to become creative.
You do a lot of things and
Exactly.
You are very firm and very active. But of course, it is what it is.
It is what it is. But let's go to court
Yes.
yesterday. Sexy Dondo. Hey, you beat me.
Sexy Dondon. But that has been his account. The police is saying that his guy name is Sexy Dondon, and he is disputing that. So that one, we are not banned from saying that.
Yeah.
We know that he said his guy name is Sexy Dondon. He is saying that no, it is not my guy name. My guy name is Gucci Youngstar.
Yeah.
So as to whether his guy name is Gucci Youngstar or Sexy Dondon, yesterday the prosecution is that doesn't change the fact that you were in the home of JB Dankwaidu and you stabbed him, killed him, and robbed him of his mobile phones. The mobile phones were retrieved from you. The exhibits retrieved from the crime scene, which were tested, went for forensic examination, all that, returned 100% of your DNA. And so whether you are Gucci Youngstar or Sexy Dondon, that is immaterial
To
to
the case.
accusations that have been leveled against you. But Daniel Etiedu said, look, all that the prosecution have been telling the court, they were all not true. The court should believe his side of the story.
Exactly.
All that he told the court is the truth. And the truth is that He didn't kill JB Dankwa-Edu. He didn't know JB Dankwa-Edu. He has never seen his picture before. And in fact, the issue about the mobile phone, he is saying that while in prison, he had a phone conversation between the guy they retrieved the phone from, having a conversation with Madame Esla Usu and Kennedy Japan. He went to their home, sat down for 30 minutes, and they planned of how to accuse him, Daniel Esidu, how he managed to get that information and all that. That's why he couldn't tell the court. But he said that he had that information. But he was wondering why that person was not brought to the court and even to come and testify. And his point was that, look, all that prosecution is saying is not true. So he didn't kill JB Dankwa-Edu. So yesterday, prosecution led by Mrs. Sefako Bache, a principal state attorney, concluded the prosecution's cross-examination of Daniel Esidu, and by so doing, his lawyers, through lawyer Yao Dankwa, indicated to the court that that will be all for their defense. They will not call any witness or witnesses to come and testify, which means that all that they will have to say in relation to the charges, murder and robbery, Daniel Esidu said he's done talking, and now he is in the hands of the jury. What the court has directed is that on December 4, 2024, that's a few days from now. Today's date is 22nd.
Yeah. 22.
22nd. So about, let's say, this month will end the 21st.
Yeah, 30 days are September, April, June, and November.
Hey, I do. So it means we have
November 30.
November 30. So there's 8 days, 8 plus 4. That will give you 12 days. So let's say within 2 weeks, Daniel Esidu will be back in court.
Yeah, it's 12 days because we have 15 days to elections.
Yes. So what will happen is that on that day, on the 4th of December, it's going to be a very long day because the defense lawyers will address the jury orally. They will, and then what the address means
and
that
it will be a Wednesday,
Yes, a Wednesday. They would tell the jury the summary of their case and what they want the jury to look at and why they think that Daniel Esidu is not guilty of the charges as pressed against him. Then prosecution will also come, summarize their case from day 1 to the final day, and tell the prosecution why they think that they have led sufficient evidence for which reason Daniel Esidu should be convicted or the jury should return a guilty verdict against Daniel Esidu. Then after, the presiding judge, Justice Lydia Osemafo, now elevated to the Court of Appeal. So she is presiding over this case as an additional High Court judge. Will now sum up the trial. And summing up of the trial means that the court will take the jury through from day 1 to the last day of the sitting.
Yeah.
All that the witnesses who have come, prosecution witnesses who have come, they call the driver of JB Dankwa, they call the security man of JB Dankwa. There was a woman whose home were told that Daniel Esidu went there, took a cup of water, washed himself, went into the bathroom, fetched water, go and wash the blood of himself. Traces of it were found and all that came to the court to testify. And then the investigators who took him, video evidence of he going to the reconstruction of the crime scene, all of them were put in. So the court would take the jury also through all the evidence, testimonies, the similarities, the differences, the contradictions, and all that. Then the law, what the law says about elements, murder, element that prosecution ought to prove, and then some of the things that they have to look at. And as jurors, what they need to, the detail that they want. So the judge will sum up all the trial for them. The court will draw out some inferences. The court will, in the course of summing up, sometimes you see the direction that, okay, for the judge, this is what the judge thinks. But of course, the jurors are not obliged to go with what the judge thinks. They are supposed to go in there, deliberate on the issues, and they'll come up with the verdict. So the court will say that if you look at the charge of murder, you are supposed to return a 7-0, 5-6-1, or 5-2. And in all these decisions, it will find the accused person guilty. But if you return 4-3, it's a hung jury. So they direct them, let them know, and then they will retire. So that day, on the 4th of December, this is what is going to happen. And after the summing up, the jurors will retire. They have an office. Go there. But there's no timelines. I have seen the case that the juror, in relation to the Kasua ritual murder, when they retire, within 5 minutes, they were back. In relation to Afuku, the second one, they retired after about 45 minutes. They came back and delivered a hung jury. And so sometimes when they go in there, they retire and they have any confusion in their mind, they come back to seek for further clarity and direction. So on the 4th of December, Justice Lydia Osema was saying that there will be a summing up. And once summing up has taken place, there's no adjournment. Yeah. As for the addresses from the lawyers, you can do it and adjourn. But once the judge sums up the trial, that's it. No adjournment. And with the partial. Baking crying. So Daniel Esiedu, as has been directed by the court, on the 4th of December,
he will know his fate.
Yes, this case will be put to final. And the decision of the verdict from the jury is binding on the court. If the jury say Daniel Esiedu is guilty, they will be discharged, and then the court will apply the law, which is life in prison for murder.
Wow.
But if the jury says that Daniel Esiedu is not guilty, the court has no other choice. They say you are acquitted and discharged. Go home. That is all. So the judge has no hand in relation to the matters. Like it is what the jury says that the court will go with. So that is what will happen in relation to Daniel Esiedu, aka Sexy Don Don, aka
Gucci youngster.
Yes.
But his lawyers have been speaking.
Yes. Lawyer Yao Dankwa, I've been speaking to him. I've asked him 8 years down the line today, you've concluded or your case is closed. Are you satisfied with the kind of defense that you put? Let's hear him.
I'm glad that the long-awaited trial has now finally come to an end, and it gives some peace to my client. We are very confident of our case. I will believe that the jury will do their job, peruse through the evidence that is available to them, and take into consideration the testimonies and all the other submissions that we make. And I'm pretty sure that they will arrive at a decision. But I'm very confident of what we have done so far. As much as you try to do your job as a lawyer and as a professional, you cannot shy away from these influences and these distractions that comes along with this politics. And with the politicians, they just want votes. So whatever they say, they don't really care whether it will help you or not. But we've tried to maintain focus. We've tried to remain very focused, and I've tried very hard to.
So that is lawyer Yao Dankwa, counsel for Daniel Esiedu. Yesterday, after he closed his client's case, he was saying that they were very confident of the kind of defense that they have put forth before the court. They didn't call any witness, but they say that, look, sometimes an accused person, you can even decide not to open your case, and the court will examine the whole evidence before it and then take your fate. And it has happened. For those who remember the case of the Major Mahama, some of the accused persons, 2 of them that I know, did not open their defense. They said they have nothing to tell the court. The court should, the jury should examine their fate based on the record, and they walked free. They were acquitted and discharged. So sometimes you don't even need to talk. You just have to go to court. If you are clean, you tell the court that I have nothing to tell you, and sometimes you walk free. But the chances are that normally if you don't talk, it might go against you. But if you believe so yesterday he said that I'll call no more witness. Number one.
Yeah. Nana Pia Mensa.
Yes, and then this one, the customers are now beginning to have a feel of how the whole issues are going. And so if you look at what is happening in relation to this Nana Apia Mensah's case, yesterday I told you about the fact that the lawyers of Nana Apia Mensah are in court again. They are challenging the order of Justice Ernest Owusu-Dapa, a justice of the Court of Appeal who is sitting over this case as an additional High Court judge. They are challenging that order for him to open his defense to respond to charges. He was of the view that if you look at the testimonies of all the prosecution witnesses who have come to court, 9 of them, he felt that there's no sufficient evidence or no case has been made which will warrant that he mount the witness box and explain to the court what his side of the story. He thinks that at this particular point in time, the court should allow him to go free. So they filed a motion seeking for a stay of proceedings, and for some time now, that case has been adjourned. Yesterday, when the case was called, his lawyers, led by Kwame Akufubuafo, indicated to the court that, look, they have filed a supplementary to their affidavit in support, and so that has been filed at the registry. But the prosecution yesterday, Watson Adama was the one representing the Attorney General, said that they have not received a copy of that supplementary. And looking at the situation, the court they were asking for an adjournment to be able to come back for that motion to be moved. And so Justice Ernest Owusu-Dapah yesterday had to adjourn the case to November 27. And on November 27, it is hoped that when the case is called, the motion will be moved, and we'll see whether the court will grant a stay of proceedings for Nam1 to go and appeal against that order for him to open his defense. So that is one of the things. And I must also put on record that yesterday, Nam1 was not physically present in court. His lawyers indicate to the court that on his way to court, there was an emergency that he has to attend to, and so he has to go back, which the court, in fact, obliged him with that particular excuse that was given to the court. But the court hoped that there should be something to show that, yes, Nam1 had an emergency at the next. In fact, the customers were in court as usual, but of course, they would have hoped that things are done expeditiously so that this matter would be put to finality. So that is what happened in relation to Dana Apia Mensah, aka Nam1, in which the state has charged him for charges in relation to customers' funds. So Nam1's case will come back again on the November 27. That is when we hope that Nam1 will be back at the High Court. So yesterday, yes, the case was called, but the business of the day didn't happen because lawyers of Nam1 had their supplementary affidavit filed, which the state say they have not received that. So that's what happened in relation to Nam1. But the Saglemi, affordable housing. The man in white.
Yeah, man in white. I think now we can call him the Alaji in white.
Yes, it is.
He and Ken Freiata are competing.
They are competing.
Yeah.
Maybe if
for the white status.
Maybe if the LDC comes to power again, they want to choose a finance minister. Maybe
they should consider him. Don't you think so? So he can continue the tradition.
Absolutely. So every finance minister now we'll be monitoring the finance ministers.
Yes.
The one who represented or replaced
Dr. Mohammed Amida
yes.
Adam.
Has he been wearing white?
No,
I think we should advise him.
Exactly, yeah. So that it will be a tradition.
It's white apparel. And so yesterday, that case, the Saglemi affordable housing case, was called, and prosecution called their third witness in the person of Madame Lucy Tete Akwete. Madame Lucy Tete Akwete worked at the Bank of Ghana at a financial market department of the Bank of Ghana, and she was in fact a project officer responsible for the Saglemi affordable housing 5,000 Saglemi affordable housing project. And so he was in court yesterday to tell his side of the story, what she also knows about the case. And the moment when she started to give her background to the court before she goes into the substance of the matter, the first thing that she said was that she is on retirement. She has retired. And so defense lawyers were asking a few questions. Look, this is somebody who is on retirement and is here to talk in official capacity of Bank of Ghana. How will she be able to, or how well will she be in the position to answer questions on matters currently happening in the Bank of Ghana? Clearly no. So yesterday, off record, they have that discussion. The judge said, if you are disagreeing, then make a formal motion. Let me rule on that. And then AG's representative indicate that, looking at the circumstances, they want to do some few background consultations and then know what to do. The lawyers were hoping that if she wants to testify in this present capacity, then of course she should be, the Bank of Ghana need to clear her, need to give her that particular certification, so that when they are asking her present situations,
then she'll be able to answer, of course.
But
I mean, times have changed.
Absolutely. Situations whereby you are on retirement and they're asking you questions at Bank of Ghana, that will be more detrimental. So yesterday, in view of that concern raised by the propriety of the third prosecution witness, who filed in fact, the witness statement was filed at the time that she was still at post. You get it? But she's now come to court to testify at the time that she has retired.
Exactly.
So a lot of things have changed. So in that capacity, the court has adjourned the case, has obliged prosecution time to put their house in order. So the case has been adjourned to the 26th of December. November. December say.
That
day when you go to the court,
when we are opening
up
our boxes, and excited about the gift.
Partner? You're here to find one.
Well, I'm here to find one, honestly. But usually,
over the years, how have you been?
It's been family.
Oh, okay. That's
maybe this year will be an exception.
But this year also been an election
Yeah,
year.
maybe I'll get some cool gifts, so I can unbox.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So yesterday, that case has been adjourned, and Alhaji Collins that was not present in court. We're told that he's unwell. The lawyer submitted an excuse duty from his doctors, and then the court accepted same. So yesterday, this very case had to be adjourned to the 26th of November, by which time prosecution is supposed to put their house in order and let the court know about the propriety or otherwise of the witness who they brought yesterday. But because of capacity issues, they have to be adjourned the case to the 26th.
And then the alleged will forgery?
Yes, this case is getting very interesting. You note Alhaji Salia's will, and then siblings, chief, and then a lawyer are in court. And in relation to that, you note that at the last court sitting, prosecution indicated to the court that the direction was for the siblings to be taken out of the case. And so they filed an amended charge sheet, and you only have the lawyer and the chief. And then the complainant in the matter, Idris Salia, was wondering how a property that belongs to the family, external people would rather have more hand in it if not people within. So he disagreed with that assertion, sent a petition to the office of the Attorney General for the case to be looked into it. In fact, yesterday, lawyers of the state prosecutors were at the Achimota Circuit Court before Akusia Anochua Ejepon informed her that, look, they have received a petition from Idris Celia, the complainant in the matter, and then the Attorney General has contacted the police for the case docket. So invariably, the AG has taken over the case docket to look at it based on the petition that was presented to it. And so they have requested for time. They have asked the circuit court to put the trial on hold until the Attorney General is able to investigate circumstances leading to that particular decision to have those siblings taken out of the case, and they will properly advise the court in the next line of action. So if we look at the charge sheet presently filed, Joseph Cole Adosam, he's the lawyer involved. Then the chief of Banda, Alhaji Saidu Adams Baba, he's the chief in the matter. And then the siblings, so that is Said Salia, he is the third accused person. But Abdullah Salia, aka Abdullah Salia Jr., and Abubakar Salia, they are on the run. They are at large, so they are not in court. And so they are facing charges of conspiracy, forgery, altering of official documents, and perjury. So
these are the charges.
But the amended charge sheet will not have the Saidu Salia and the other Abdullah Salia and Abubakar Salia, who are the siblings, on it. And that is what the complainant is challenging. So how can they do it without the input of these people? And how can you take them out? As siblings, we know who our father's property is. We know our father's signature. But they are making the point that there were a lot of times that signatures have been forged, their father's signature have been chosen, and he thinks that the other siblings were part of this. So yesterday, that case has been adjourned to December 23.
Hey, 2 days to bring it.
2 days to bring it. 2 days to bring it. And what I anticipate is that the prosecution will probably, if they are able to complete their investigation into the matter, will probably advise the court on the next line of action. The court said it doesn't want to entertain any delays in this matter. So the case will come. We are not done. Adjourn it. The court yesterday was very clear. No entertainment. Make sure you expedite action to ensure that you investigate the matter as early as possible for the court to go into. So yesterday, this matter has been adjourned to December 23, a day on the eve of Christmas and 24th, where a lot of people will be carrying
polythene bag near Queen. Let's look at some of the cases coming up.
Yes, sad one for me and sad one for Ghana today, because for those who remember, Justice Julius Ansah, a retired justice of the Supreme Court.
A Supreme Court judge, yes.
And one of the big cases, the biggest cases, I want to say, the very first election petition, 2013 one, is one of the panel members.
That's sat on that case, yeah. Oh, that's sad.
4 years after retiring from the bench. Wow. He's been on the Supreme Court, or he was on the Supreme Court from 2004.
That's
in
a
2004,
long time.
2014, and then it would have been 20 years on the bench. And then he retired 4 years ago. So today is the day that he's been put to rest.
Wow.
And we wish the family condolences, and may his gentle soul rest in perfect. This thing is happening at the forecourt of the State House. So we'll be there to see what some of the justices will be saying. Then we know there are a lot of tributes that will be coming in it, and all that. All those who matters within the justice delivery system will be there to pay their last respect to the late Justice Julius Ansah, retired. May his gentle soul and the family have condolences and all that. So that's one of the things that we do expect today in relation to things that are happening in the corridors of the court and the judicial service and all that. Yes. So,
Captain.
Yes,
that's a sad one.
So it's a sad one. It's a sad one to complete a Friday, but of course, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
I read, if you read Ola Rotimi's book, The Gods Are Not to Blame, it said sickness is like rain. It falls on anyone.
You know?
When it's raining, as you say, you are Lily Mohammed. I won't fall on you.
Yeah. Everybody gets their fair share.
It's just that we just have to look upon ourselves and pray for the grace and favor of the God to be able to do whatever we are supposed to do on the planet Earth. So one day when we are called, he 74 years.
So at least he's lived.
Yes. So life is told that you live for 70 years. So he had an
additional 4 years.
4 years, yes. Yeah. So that is that.
All right, Captain. Thank you very much.
I'll see you on the flip side.
On the flip side. So that's Captain Murtala Inusa taking us to court. Now, all rise. Court has risen. We are retiring to chambers.
Constituted. And then once that is done, that is all for the day. For case court is done for the day, then you have to pack your luggage, everything that you have brought. And that would be when the very last person in the courtroom is dealt with. Everybody else.
Okay. Anyway, Captain, thank you. You're still listening to the Morning Star here on Star 103.5 FM.